Philadelphia, the Temple Owls back in town at Lincoln Financial Field to battle the undefeated midshipmen. Navy 5-0 for the second time in as many seasons and undefeated in league play as well. Welcome to ESPN College Football, presented by Claude, the city of brotherly love. And this clash headed your way right now. He's Sam Acho. I'm Roy Philpott. Taylor Davis joins us on the sidelines in just one moment. On the 250th anniversary of the Navy and the U.S. Marine Corps, the Mids are playing some great football right now.
They're playing outstanding. Their entire offensive staff is intact, and their quarterback and Snipe are playing out of their minds.
No question about it. You just go back to 1 week ago, a record-setting performance by Blake Horvath and Eli Heidenreich.
Blake Horvath is a dual-threat quarterback. You're going to see him get the ball on the ground, but also through the air. He's elite when it comes to his accuracy down the field, but it's not just that. It's his running ability and his ability to get the ball to number 22, Eli Heidenreich. He plays a snipe position. He's usually right where a tight end would line up, but he's not that big, but he's got speed that'll be able to run right by you.
It's the first game in Navy football history where a receiver went for over 200 yards through the air and the 3 touchdowns to get the job done in the victory over Air Force. Meanwhile, for Temple, the team that nobody's talking about, led by the quarterback that no one is talking about as well, in Evan Simon.
They like to keep it simple in Temple. Their offense is very run-heavy, but when Evan Simon does decide to throw the ball, he doesn't turn it over. He keeps it simple. We talked about it. He's very accurate, and he doesn't give the ball to the other team. That helps him and his team win games when it matters the most.
Evan Simon, the transfer from Rutgers, texted his head coach, Casey Keeler, early Sunday morning. He said, "Coach, we've got to get off to a faster start Saturday against the Mids. Can they do it?" We're about to find out. Push through the area for the time being. Here at the link, Owls won the coin toss and elected to receive, which is interesting as the opening kick sails over the head of Stewart. And the Owls will have it at the 25. And Sam, most of the time you see you win the toss, you defer, you get the football to begin the second half. Casey Keeler, a different methodology with his quarterback Evan Simon today.
He understands that Navy is a team that loves to control the time of possession. So we said if we win the toss, we're taking the ball to try to give Navy one less possession in this game.
The Owls led by Simon, without a turnover this season on offense, the only team in the FBS to make that claim. Jay Ducker in the backfield, a transfer from Sam Houston. Joins Simon and gets the touch on the zone read, plows ahead, a short pickup on first down. Owls haven't been the best team this season, Sam, through the first 15 minutes. Casey Keeler will tell you that. They're trying to figure out a way to start faster this afternoon.
Well, part of that is because of the opponents they've played. Georgia Tech and Oklahoma are 2 top 25 opponents, so they've started slow, and their style of play is very run-heavy. If you don't win on first down, it hurts the rest of the game.
Kevion Mason on the field. He'll get a touch, and the freshman on the jet sweep across the 30. A quality pickup on second down. It'll be 3rd and manageable for the Owls.
This is where Temple does want to live, 3rd and 3 to 4. If you win on first down, you get a couple yards on second down. Now you have the option to still run the ball on a down like this.
Incredible start in week 7 in college football, including last night in the American, where South Florida was able to handle its business and then some on the road at previously undefeated North Texas. Time for Simon, heaves one deep. He's got a man on the busted coverage. Holloway down the near side and bumped out of bounds inside the 20. And the first big play for Temple. And they are in business, a gain of 46.
It started with the running back, Ducker, number 20, sealing the edge, and then there's a busted assignment. The weakness of the Navy defense is their secondary. You see the bust, and Kajaya Holloway does the rest.
8th catch of the season. He's got 2 touchdowns. The 5th-year senior transfer from UCLA. We'll rule him out just shy of the 20. Pistol look with Ducker backing Simon. Simon will fake it his direction, a full-out blitz. It came in. Simon got rid of it. With O'Neill coming in, and they're going to say the ball is still live. There was no whistle, and that's the right call by this veteran officiating staff. Mark Anthony Parker recovered the fumble for the time being. Sam, I thought his arm was moving forward.
I'm excited to see this play again, but first let's go to the blitz. First, let's go to the blitz by Ira O'Neill. He's starting today. This is a corner blitz. Watch him come in. To me, that looked like it was a forward pass, so we're going to watch it again and see. But O'Neill on the corner blitz. Navy loves to bring pressure. And there it is. Looks pretty clear that the arm was going forward, the hand was going forward. Looks like it's going to be incomplete.
Our referee today, Matt Overton. In replay is Tim Shane. Collaboration with the command center in Pittsburgh, here in the American.
Get used to seeing corners blitz in this defense. I think this is clearly a forward pass, but just something to be looking out for. The reason why Navy loves to bring so much pressure is that they don't have the biggest guys on their team, so they have to stem, they have to shift, they have to bring extra pressure to create confusion for the quarterback. So on this specific play, yes, it looks like an incomplete pass, but just keep an eye out for that corner blitz and corner pressure as the game goes on.
Ira O'Neill inserted into the starting lineup today in place of Justin Ross. Nothing we've seen so far suggests that that won't be ruled an incomplete pass, and he maintained possession as the arm comes forward.
And it's interesting, if O'Neill doesn't get there, the receiver is open across the middle. Navy's bringing more than Temple has to block. So Evan Simon is making the right decision. Just a little bit better pressure by O'Neill. That feels like a bang-bang play, because the arm does look like it's coming forward, but that hit from O'Neill, did that ball jar loose just a bit?
And the extended review suggests that's what they are examining.
After review, the quarterback's hand was coming forward. Incomplete pass. Will be second down, 22-yard line.
A break for Temple on a bang-bang play in the backfield on the corner blitz by O'Neill. And after all of that, it's 2nd and 10.
I love the decision to blitz, though, because one thing that Temple has shown on tape, though they want to be run heavy, when they earn a first down, after they complete a pass or get a run for a first down, they have a tendency to like to pass the ball on that first down. So Navy's seeing the tendencies, and they're attacking those tendencies.
Ducker stays in at running back. Temple off the comeback win against UTSA. Into the flats and around the edge. Navy has it cornered right at the 20-yard line. JoJo Bermudez makes his first grab. They're trying to find unique ways to get the football to number 17 in Charian White this afternoon. Nothing doing. It's 3rd and long.
Not the biggest guy. He's 5'9", 170, but he's great in space. So that's why you're going to see JoJo Bermudez in the punt return game, but also on the edges. They want to get him one-on-one and create, quote, punt returns, even though it's a passing situation.
3rd down and 9. First possession of this game. 20th meeting all time between Navy and Temple. Simon with an empty backfield. Late pressure, balls tipped in the air and batted out of bounds. O'Neill has been active on this possession, nearly forcing a fumble. He'll get the tip at the line there.
They brought the corner blitz again, and what do you do when you know you struggle in coverage? Do you sit back and wait? No, what Navy's deciding to do is they're deciding to bring pressure early on passing downs. Obvious pass, they're bringing a corner blitz. That's what made the play.
So here's Carl Harden, 6 for 7 in the field goal department this season from the right hash. A 39-yard effort. Casey Keeler wants the Owls to be elite on special teams. Clean snap, hold down, kick on the way, and he missed it wide right. He pushed it at the last moment, just his 2nd miss of the season. Casey Keeler can't believe it, and we remain scoreless 3 minutes in.
ESPN College Football is presented by Claude, the AI for problem solvers.
Welcome back to the city of brotherly love, the Liberty Bell, a scoreless game, nearly 3 minutes in. United States Naval Academy band in attendance. And What has been a rain-soaked morning into the afternoon. Here comes Blake Horvat off the record-setting performance last week, accounting for over 460 yards of total offense in the comeback win over Air Force. Alex Tuska on the field, twisting, turning, and tumbling. Down towards the 29, Avery Powell had the big interception last week in the comeback over UTSA. It's a gain of 8 for head coach Brian Newberry. Year 3, Sam, already 20 wins versus just 10 losses in the second straight year in Annapolis. The Mids have started at 5-0.
And it's not just him, it's his decision to bring on offensive coordinator Drew Cronic, which has revolutionized this offense.
And if you read some of the stories nationally from this past week after that record-setting performance over Air Force, Brandon Chapman to the perimeter. Chapman picks up the first, and you read more about what Drew Cronic has done, and you start to figure out that this offense is incredibly innovative and creative, and Drew Cronic really specializes in that department. That was part of the vision of Brian Newberry in bringing Cronic in as the former head coach for Mercer. And he recruited him on multiple occasions for this position as the offensive play caller in Annapolis. And the marriage has worked to perfection, especially 10 wins last year, a victory over Oklahoma and Army to close down the season. Late toss and ahead towards midfield goes Eli Heidenreich. He'll get his first touch on the load option.
You talked about the vision of Brian Newberry. Well, the vision of Brian Newberry and Drew Cronic is going to challenge the vision of the defense. Everybody on this defense has to be eye disciplined. You cannot allow the ball to fool you. You cannot allow the load option, the speed option, the triple option, the veer to fool you. So you have to read your keys if the quarterback's in the gun, read your keys if the quarterback's under center, read your keys, and everyone has to be assignment sound.
Charles Robinson on the field replacing Heidenreich, who gets a breather. Play action, wide open, busted coverage. Here come the Mids. Cody Howard to the end zone. And just like that, from 50 yards out, Navy out in front on the road. First touchdown of the season for Howard. What a start. Blake Horvat picking up right where he left off last week against Air Force.
Talking about the vision of the defense being challenged. That's what they do. They lull you to sleep with the load option, the speed option, the triple option. Then they show you option and throw it right over your head.
Second longest reception of the season for Howard. 79 yards in just 4 plays. Nathan Kirkwood. And it's 7-0, 5 minutes in here in Philly.
So it's all about discipline. Number 19, Jalen Castleberry, he's on Cody Howard, but his eyes are in the backfield. He peeks to the backfield, and all that peek is all you need for a Navy offense optioning you to the end zone.
Undefeated in league play here in the American. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis at the link. Lance Gossett has been inserted back into that starting lineup for the kickoff team. Demonstrating ample leg strength once again, a touchback, and now Temple gets the football back. They should have had at least 3 on the board on their first drive, and for Evan Simon, at least something you can build towards, getting off to a little bit of a faster start.
Don't panic. You were able to drive the ball down the field. There was a couple pressures that you weren't expecting. If you're Temple in this offense, everything went according to plan outside of the missed field goal. So you're okay. Don't panic. Stick to the run game and run your offense.
Now's this season with victories over UMass Howard and UTSA. Midshipman will show pressure on first down. It's Bermudez that went in motion. Head towards the 30, the tackle by Mark Anthony Parker on Jay Ducker.
We're seeing already, Roy, the desire for Navy to bring pressure early. That time they had a safety blitz, and that was a run blitz, but it's still a pressure nonetheless. Navy wants to try to slow down this Temple offense by blitzing more than they can block.
Gain of 6 yards on first. Ducker motions out. Temple offense led by coordinator Tyler Walker, who came in from Montana State. Bermudez with speed. There it is on full display across the 40. Parker a tackle after a gain of 11, but a first down for the out.
And I love the block on the edge by number 11, Kajaya Holloway. He had that big catch, but JoJo Bermudez is the speed option guy. He's the guy they want to get on the edges. And you see 11 Holloway doesn't hold. He gets just enough to get that first down. Great job by Kajaya Holloway blocking for his buddy in his receiver room.
Sam, you know how important it is not to go down 2 scores against a team like Navy that loves ball control and loves to chew up the clock. Another touch for Ducker, a modest gain of maybe a yard. It'll be second down.
It is hard, Roy, but you have to understand they're one team, but it's almost 2 different teams. Your offense and your defense. Your offense can't control what the defense does. You have to do what you do as a quarterback, as an offense, and trust that your defense will be able to stop or slow down Navy's offense. So no panic, just do what you do. It's been working so far.
I know the Mids want to go for it on 4th down. We were certainly instructed this week that Temple has more than its fair share of calls on 3rd and short or 4th down today to also try to play keep away against what Navy wants to do. It's a 2-yard gain. Landon Robinson a tackle, and for Casey Keeler, he's familiar with triple option offenses. He's familiar with winning championships like he did at Sam Houston in Delaware. And they've been preparing for the Mids going back some 2 weeks into the heart of their bye week. And Brian Newberry trying to win another game on the road. Quick delivery, Bermudez with a jump cut, spun down close to the line to gain, and he'll be spotted about a half-yard shy of first down yardage. And it was Parker that upended him, and let's see what Temple wants to do here.
Let's see if Casey Keeler keeps his word. He talked about going for it on 3rd down because they know they're going to go for it on 4th down. He's keeping his offense on the field. I love the decision. We've seen historically they love to run inside zone on 3rd or 4th and short, give the ball to Jay Ducker, their big running back. Ducker's not in the game right now, but inside zone has been their play of choice historically.
Hunter Smith is the running back. First time we've called his name today. And a big play here halfway through our first quarter. Smith straight ahead keeps the legs turning, and the drive stays alive for Temple.
There's that inside zone play we talked about. Why do you run an inside zone? Because number 1, you need 1 yard. Number 2, you trust your offensive line. You're not trying to pull anybody. You're just trying to push guys in front of you and get a first down. Great play design, better execution for Temple.
Now the Air Force had some success a week ago against this Navy defense utilizing the tight end. Bit of a different story and a different style of attack for Temple today with Peter Clark. He figures to be involved in the game plan sooner rather than later. Colin Chase has it inside the 40, and it should be another first down for the Owls. And in fact it is. So a good delivery. The timing route was there for Evan Simon and Colin Chase.
Number 18, Philip Hamilton, missed the tackle on that, but Evan Simon did a great job of getting the ball out quick to Colin Chase, number 1, one of their leaders, and getting that first down.
Sam, you and I were here for the Oklahoma game where OU just took it to the Owls right away. Listen, that's what the Sooners have been all about this year. Different start, a different vibe with this offense. Jay Ducker back on the field. And success on their first 2 possessions. Simon looking long, heaves one deep, and nobody home. Well, Chase broke off the route, as did Holloway near the 15-yard line.
Well, what they wanted didn't work. They had formation in the boundary. What that means is 3 receivers are lined up to the short side of the field. They wanted Jay Ducker on a wheel route, but it was covered to perfection. So you saw Evan Simon just throw the ball away.
Well, Casey Keeler has maintained this has not been a rebuild. He has been pleasantly surprised with the talent that he inherited. Mentioned that really early in his tenure, going back to spring practice. Bermudez in motion, will misdirection. Simon will keep it, and the Red Sea parts. Simon into the red zone. It'll be first down for Temple.
The one thing that's been missing from this Temple offense, well, two things. One, explosive plays, but two, Evan Simon using his legs. In the last 2 weeks, he started to use his legs so much more, and that adds a whole new element that people don't prep for. Evan Simon's not the best athlete, so defenses aren't focusing on him keeping the ball. So when he does, it's a surprise to defenses, and big gains ensue.
It's a gain of 21, the 10th play of the possession coming up next for Temple. Holloway will shift. And Ducker a give is bottled up quickly inside the 15 by Luke Pierce. 1 yard gain on first.
One thing that we've seen when we watch this Temple team is in the red zone, they love going to their tight ends. They have some big tight ends, Peter Clark being one of them, number 88. But they also have other weapons they like to use in the red zone. So I understand that they're running the ball a little bit, but don't be surprised if you see one of these tight ends get the rock.
Yeah, Ryder Cush, Peter Clark, Jake Woods, who we met yesterday along with his family at the Temple practice facility. On second down. Delayed give. Ducker with real estate. Ducker on the way. He'll pick up the first down. It's 1st and goal for the Owls. A 12-yard gain and a physical finish for Jay Ducker.
Physical finish equals missed tackles on defense. Number 14, Jackson Campbell, one of their leaders, misses a tackle on this play. He tries to make it, but it isn't enough. Great effort by Ducker.
What a response in a drive now spanning more than 6 minutes. Tyler Walker, offensive play caller, coming in from Montana State. Ducker, stop short. Right at the line. He may have lost a yard. Mids thought that maybe they had forced a late turnover. Coleman Cauley.
Runner was down before the ball came loose. 2nd down.
It was Cauley that recorded the tackle.
The difficult part of blocking this Navy defense is that they stem so much. So they got to the backfield by stemming. And you're going to see there, looks like that forearm is down before the ball comes out. So it would not be a fumble.
In layman's terms, stemming means?
Stemming means moving side to side. They're not just going to run right at you. The defensive line is going to move before the ball is snapped, and then when the ball is snapped, they move as well.
Play clock winding down. Simon's got to go. He does. Straight ahead for the Temple touchdown. Now the 5th-year senior signal caller for KC Keeler, nearly flawless on that drive.
They said that he is their alpha, he's their leader. Even the leaders of the team said we want to hear from him more. Evan Simon is stepping up, and now he's starting to be the reason why his team is earning victories.
And Sam, how about a 7-minute drive to tie the game by the Temple Owls in a brand new game in Philly?
It's been so impressive to watch this offense finally start to come to life. Evan Simon with a quarterback lead. Offensive line protects him.
The Taco Bell Live Más student section. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Más Student Section of the Year. Who will take home the trophy this year?
Well, what kind of student were you? Like, were you like a partier in college? Were
Yes.
you like an academic?
No. I partied the first 4 years, and then I started to study the final 2 to pick up the undergrad degree. But I appreciate you asking.
I just wanted to make sure, man. You know, were you like in the books, or were you like the person we see on the screen just getting it in?
You never know where the broadcast is going to go. First down for the Mids. Here's Horvath looking for the wheel routes. Man-to-man coverage breaking open and incomplete. Oteska was some 35 yards down the field. And Temple was ready with Curly Ordonez in coverage.
I love the decision, though, by Blake Horvath. He went to Alex Teska, even though it looked like it was covered, but he trusted his matchup. There may have been a little bit of a hold at the end by Ordonez, but not enough to get the call.
Now, Teska was listed as questionable all week long for this game, just 12 snaps last week. The win over Air Force and movement on the left side. And that was Jake Norris, the reserve tight end.
False start. Offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Norris, the junior from Madison, Mississippi. Down there at Central High School and quickly off the playing surface.
This is the win early in this series for Temple's defense that didn't do anything the first series. You saw an incomplete pass, which you're saying, incomplete pass, how is that a win? Because they're not in 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 3. Now all of a sudden they're backed up even more. This is exactly what you want if you're Temple defensively.
Think about what Casey Keeler talked about with us this week. First down is the most important down. The incompletion on the long pass. And it puts Navy behind the chains. Ordonez with a tackle on Jackson Gutierrez. And Sam, just like that, 3rd down and long.
And the reason why that matters so much, Roy, is that 3rd and long for Navy is different than 3rd and long for anyone else. Navy's offensive line struggles when it comes to one-on-one pass protection. So 3rd and 11 is an obvious passing down. If these guys have to hold up in pass protection, it should be difficult for them to do it.
After a gain of just 4. Navy elite in the 3rd down department, normally because it's 3rd and short. Horvath will roll out the pocket, pressure, eludes, and then sends it out of bounds. Well, smart decision to simply get rid of the football on 3rd and long for Blake Horvath, and now Temple defensively forcing the 3 and out.
See what happens when you simply do your job. You don't have to do too much, just do what your assignment and your responsibility is. Curly Ordonez got a chance to have early pressure on that, and now all of a sudden, field position is swinging in Temple's favor.
Horvath on the sidelines. JoJo Bermudez back deep to receive this punt. And Jacob Carlson. Early momentum with the mids now has been erased by the home team. Carlson booms one deep. Bermudez over the shoulder. Still alive. Bermudez spins his way out of traffic and brought down across the 30. A punt of 61 and a return of 16.
Keep your eyes open every time JoJo Bermudez is back there to return the punt. He's had big returns every game, but many of them have been called back. He keeps his eye on the guys trying to tackle him, and then he gets that ball upfield. He points to his guy saying, hey, block this guy, block that guy, and uses his athleticism to try to get a field return. Didn't look like much, but man, those 10, 15 yards are a big deal and could mean more the next time he gets a punt return.
Now Bermudez, a big play waiting to happen. Owls get it back after the 13-play touchdown drive moments ago. Hunter Smith fake it his direction and upended on the quick grab by Ryder Cush. 9th catch of the season. Philip Hamilton chopped him down.
Ryder Cush is 6'4", 250, but he's a freshman, so he's going to have to understand that, hey, when you're coming across the field, there's going to be people who turn. They're going to try and go low on you. You're a big body, so great reception, no gain, but I love that tackle on defense by Navy.
Holloway went in motion. Simon will keep it. Holloway will grab it and dances out of bounds near the 36. Jaya Holloway has been active in our first 14 minutes today. And for Casey Keeler, gain of 6, it's 3rd and short.
This is usually a 2 type of play opportunity. You could run the ball, but I lean pass, and I lean a pass somewhere on the edges. You could show run, looks like it's going to be empty, running back made motion back in. But you can get the ball on the edges for Evan Simon.
You can feel Simon's confidence on the rise. Bermudez on the tunnel. Still alive, a 1st down and a lot more. JoJo, there he goes. Into Navy territory. Ushered out short of the 30 and a gain of 30 yards.
We talked to Tyler Walker, the offensive coordinator for Temple. He said, we want to try to create punt returns for Bermudez, and it looks like he's down now.
Sammy took a tumble out of bounds, the Navy sideline. They wanted to get the football more to number 17 today, and they've done it.
And not just get it to him, get it to him in space. You saw Peter Clark, number 88, with a good block. But more than anything, you wanted to get the ball to the quick receiver in space.
Griffin Willis rode him down out of bounds. And a lot of weight crashing down, 280 pounds. A big Griff.
You said 280, Roy. That's a 110-pound difference. Bermudez is 170. Willis is a D tackle 280. So that extra 100 pounds falling on top of you, you're definitely going to feel it.
It's going to leave a mark, right?
Big time mark.
You
like me trying to fall on you.
That's right. Thinking about your time at Texas, thinking about your time in the NFL with the Bears for those 9 seasons at multiple stops, and you would use that weight to inflict damage.
But what's more impressive is that Griffin Willis is a defensive tackle. He's a defensive lineman. So for him to be 40 yards down the field, giving great effort, is a testament to his relentlessness.
Bermudez coming right down on that shoulder. They're going to take a look at him. Head over towards the 10. 4 catches, 48 yards, and that 16-yard punt return moments ago. Redshirt junior from Jersey and the transfer from Delaware with a stop in Cincinnati. Clock on the move here at the end of the first quarter. Smith, the running back, play action. Deep ball, Holloway. Retreating out of bounds, and let's see. They'll call it a catch. Hauled in, it'll be 1st and goal.
Great tracking of that football by Kajaya Holloway while being covered by Ira Oniha. He tracked the football that was a bit underthrown, gets that right knee inbounds, and makes the reception.
Oh, the knee with possession from that first look establishes himself in the field of play. And 1st down and goal for Temple. Gain of 26, 15 minutes in, and what a start in Philadelphia. We are tied at 7.
Welcome back to Philadelphia. We're all tied up at 7. Casey Keeler joins me now. Coach, your offense was kept off the board on that first drive, but has been successful since. What kind of rhythm are you seeing established?
Yeah, that's what they do best. They keep you off the field. They really get a rhythm going. That first drive was pretty impressive by them. I think we took a deep breath, settled down a little bit, realized they're probably going to blitz us a lot into the boundary. So we made some adjustments there, and we played some pretty consistent football since then.
Thanks for the time.
All right, thank you.
Casey Keeler comes in from Sam Houston, looks at this roster. These guys don't know that they don't know in terms of what it takes to win games. And guess what? We've already won 3 this year to start our second quarter. Al's on the move, and Simon, incomplete. Chase jumped up for it and thought better of it. 2nd down and goal. But Sam, they don't know that they don't know. And trying to instruct this team and this roster how to win, it's not always easy.
He's trying to build a culture. He talked about using moments that look like losing moments, maybe, let's say bad decisions by players trying to make a play and not do their job, using those moments as catalysts to teach them, teaching moments on, hey, this is what wins and this is what doesn't. We're seeing some of that pay off early in this game.
Tied at 7. Game of big plays by both sides thus far. Hunter Smith leaving down to the 5. 3rd and goal for there. Jackson Campbell a stop for the midshipman.
The run game has been effective so far, Roy, but if I'm Temple, I'm targeting number 88, Peter Clark. He's a big-time weapon in the red zone. He's got a size mismatch when he gets his opportunity to be in there. He's 6'6", 265, and so I understand you haven't targeted him just yet, but that's what I'm looking for if I'm Temple.
The London native, power forward playing tight end. Empty backfield. Simon got rid of it quickly, and the ball pops out. There was a collision on the goal line. It'll be 4th and goal, trying to spot Tyler Stewart. Oniha again makes the play, Sam.
But it started on the inside. Look at number 96, Landon Robinson. He just beats the slide. The offensive line doesn't know what they're doing. They think they're sliding one way, but the right guard doesn't realize that he's supposed to slide with them. So you've got your defensive tackle, your team captain with a free hit on the quarterback, and Oniha gets the near interception.
Robinson, a player with NFL aspirations at that nose tackle spot. 23-yard field goal now from Carl Harden. This from 38 earlier. Not this time. Sneaks it inside the upright. Give Temple its first lead. Now week 7 already underway. College football, and coming up tonight, ABC the place to be. Jordan-Hare Stadium, where top 10 Georgia comes to town, led by Gunnar Stockton and Hugh Freeze and Jackson Arnold, in search of that much-needed early season, mid-year kind of victory in the Deep South's oldest rivalry.
I thought you were going to say in search of some pass protection. Remember Jackson Arnold got sacked 10 times versus Oklahoma? They might be searching for some new offensive linemen.
Good point by you, and a good start for that man, Casey Keeler. And a 10-7 advantage, Temple Owls. Only team in the FBS not to commit a turnover this season. As soon as Coach Keeler mentioned that to us, he found some wood in his office and knocked on it as quickly as he could. Interesting start to this week 7 as Isaiah Bryant takes it near the goal line. And Bryant brought down to the 24. We check in with Kevin Connors. Casey, thank you. How about John Mateer on the field 17 days after surgery on the thumb/hand? It's amazing.
And it's his throwing hand. That's even more impressive.
Mids get it back. Horvath, delayed handoff to Heidenreich. And Eli, a brilliant spin. And a first down. Goal number 22 went for 243 through the air last week. He picks up 16 on the ground here.
I've just been impressed by his quickness. He makes plays out of the backfield here, but it's just the quickness, the agility, the wiggle to be able to find green grass and set up defenders time and time again.
Injury down to the 41, Sean Crowley. Starter at left tackle. This is a young Navy offensive line. So we step aside in Philadelphia. Back in the early 60s. One of the all-time greats. Keenan Reynolds, of course, the all-time FBS leader in rushing touchdowns. Now a part of the Navy radio broadcast booth and does a great job there this season. And Blake Horvath, the next in line. An incredible performance, a win. Comeback variety a week ago over Air Force. Huge numbers, trying to do it again. Rain coming down in Philadelphia. Horvath gets out of bounds near the 44. So Navy on the move, and Horvath making his 19th start of his career. Look at the numbers. I mean, a dual threat quarterback, that would be an understatement.
He's gotten so much better. We had a chance to call some Navy games last year, and he told us how much he worked on his passing last offseason. Now he has a second year with Drew Cronick in this offense, and you're seeing even more improvement from last season to this.
Cronick's arrival, combined with Horvath and his evolution, has created this innovative hybrid wing team. All sorts of concepts involved. Option it back the other way, and Horvath up into the 45, and the ball came out late. I believe the mids jumped on top of it. And a loss of 4.
So I love the vision by number 33, Curly Ordonez. Doesn't get fooled on that. So he clogs everything up right in the middle. He's a quarterback player. He plays the quarterback. Then look at that physicality right on the inside by Caden Supernaut getting that ball out.
Now Horvath reminded us he added about 10 pounds of weight going back to the offseason. Trying to absorb more of those big collisions. Third down and long, not where the mids want to live. And the short pass Corralled by Heidenreich and the tackle by Chavis. It'll be 4th down and 5.
And if I'm Navy, I punt it. It looks like they're trying to think about it, but I punt it. Punt the ball, trust your defense. I think that's the right decision. 4th and 5, even 4th and 6 is not where you want to be if you're a Navy offense. 4th and 2 and 3, you can go for it.
Analytics tell you to go for it on 4th and 2 or less. So clearly a punting situation for Brian Newberry. And Bermudez not back deep to receive this punt. Colin Chase is. Do you buy into the analytics in those situations, Sam?
Oftentimes it's a feel thing more than analytics.
Booming punt by Carlson again into the end zone. Well, the Owls with a 3-point lead and possession for KC Keeler and company when we come back.
Path to D1 football. He began with a flag football program run by the Jacksonville Jaguars in London, then joined the NFL Academy, the NFL's initiative to give international students scholarship opportunities to play college football in the States. Now, I did hear from quarterback Evan Simon that occasionally if he can't get Peter's attention on the field, he does yell, "Peter!" in his accent, and it apparently gets his attention a little bit better, Roy.
Of course it does. Peter Clark, what a story. And would you know it, playing football in Philadelphia, one of his favorite movies, he says, Rocky III. Rocky Balboa, the great, the legend.
I love it. I love it. I got a chance. So, you know, I go to the field before the game, and I was about to run up to the booth, and I saw Peter Clark, and I just had to go and say hi so I could hear if he had an accent. And yes, it is true. He does have a British accent.
I'm also told he cannot do an American accent. It's terrible.
Kind of like our trusted producer Eric Postman with his fake Southern accent on occasion. 2nd down and 10. Simon to the air and fires a strike to Holloway. That'll move the sticks. Pitch and catch, a gain of 13.
This offense for Temple is targeting the new corner, Ira Oniha from Navy. They saw him blitz early. When he's not blitzing, they're targeting number 3 for Navy.
It's a Temple team that is unrecognizable compared to itself from a year ago. A win today, you start thinking about the postseason and bowl games. There's Clark, almost on cue, stays in bounds. And Peter Clark rumbles, 265 pounds. On that near side of the 39, give him a gain of 6.
This has to be so cool for him. Growing up in London and having a dream to come and play American football, now you're actually doing it. And not only are you doing it, but you're one of the key targets for this offense. The reason they beat UTSA last week, this Temple team, is they targeted Peter Clark. He had a huge 30-plus yard gain in the 3rd quarter, led to a touchdown. Following series interception, that turned the game around.
Feels like, too, Sam, the potential to see more of that with what we've witnessed with the NFL going across the pond, and just seems to be more mainstream in Europe. And a 1st down grab towards midfield by Peter Clark.
What if we just did the rest of this in an English accent? Look at Peter Clark. No, I'm not going to do it. Look at Peter Clark. Just find the soft spot in the zone, and Evan Simon just finds his tight end. Why are you laughing at me, Roy? People can't see it, but you're laughing at me. I like my accent.
I am too, Roy. I'm laughing too.
I appreciated the creativity, a Drew Cronick approach to the broadcast, if you will. 1st and 10 for midfield. Thank you, Taylor. Simon keeps it. Tight end hauls it in, and Clark. 3 receptions on this possession. Don't you love it when a good plan works to perfection? And the storytelling with one Peter Clark.
They should keep on going to him. Why do I say that? Because you haven't been able to stop Peter Clark. Sometimes you need to force feed your best players. I get it. Offense may want to run the ball or find who's open, but when you have such a mismatch in Peter Clark, you have to keep on focusing on getting him the ball until somebody stops it.
Temple already with 16 plays in Navy territory to start. Bermudez back on the field. He went in motion, and the inside give to Ducker. Head to the 45. It'll be 3rd down.
I know we've talked a lot about Navy and this offense and what they want to do, but Temple's been the team that's been dominating time of possession. How have they done that? yes, by a few big plays, but also by great decisions by Evan Simon. They're running the football, they're not turning it over, they're getting 3, 4, 5 yards and a 20-yard chunk gain. This is great play calling and decision-making by your captain leader, Evan Simon.
And the Owls turning the tables on the midshipmen thus far in time of possession. Facing a 3rd and 5. Time for Simon. Ducker. Boy, crawled towards the 41 and stopped 1 yard shy of the first down.
Keep the offense on the field, Roy. We talked about this earlier. They want to be aggressive. They know that when Navy gets the ball, Navy doesn't want to get off the field, so they're bringing in bigger people. Oh, they're 7 out. They brought in Ryder Cush. They're bringing Ryder Cush back out. And now they have another weapon in, number 14. That's that quarterback they talked about who's going to be playing receiver.
Tyler Douglas is his name, and you see Tyler Walker with the play call coming in. Douglas, a reserve quarterback. He's got jets he can fly and expected to be a factor in this game. Let's see if it's here. Up the middle by Douglas, and he'll pick up the first.
The coaching staff told us earlier, they said, hey, when 14 gets in the game, he's one of our best athletes, so he may be lined up receiver, or Douglas, you see, may even be lined up at quarterback to keep the rock. So I love the decision of getting your best players on the field. But real quick, Roy, we talked about it. When Temple earns first downs, we call it an E and 10, earned first downs. They love to take shots. So far, that's what they've done on earned first downs. Let's see if they have another passing play this time.
To your point, the Owls with 11 first downs. Navy as an offense has run a total of 11 plays.
Sheesh.
Play action, Simon. Heaves one. Colin Chase out of bounds. A tough pass that sailed wide. 2nd and 10.
So you don't connect on that 1st and 10 shot. Now you think more of a running play on this one.
We mentioned how the tables have turned. Time of possession, plays, yardage. Brian Newberry. It's a team that came back last week at home against Air Force. They will not be intimidated nor panic as Temple brings in 2 tight ends on the field. Reverse to Chase, has blockers, cuts it outside. First down, Owls. Inside the 20, and the block by Peter Clark that time helps spring Colin Chase to the edge.
Even when he's not catching the ball, he's making impact plays. Peter Clark, you see him, he loops around, so the linebackers think he's going one way, but he loops around. That's a great block on Hamilton on the edge. Peter Clark stays consistent and helps make that play by Colin Chase happen. Watch it, he loops, he goes one way, then he keeps his hand inside, he drives his feet, he stays on his man, and that earns another 10 to 15 yards.
Gain of 21, already the 5th time today that Temple has had a play go for 20 yards or further, and Chase got it done as Hunter Smith checks in. Bermudez appears to be okay, and Smith with a crease. Shoestring tackle by Luke Pierce. And remember too, Temple received the football first after winning the coin toss, and so that means Navy will get it to begin the 2nd half, and all of a sudden you start to play the numbers game, the middle 8 as you like to call it, Sam. Critical juncture for both sides.
That's a juncture that Navy's been excellent at. For the last few years, they're plus 67 point margin in the middle 8. So they need to stop here if they want to continue that.
Bermudez in motion, he'll get the swing on the 12th play of the drive. Bottled up and sent backwards. And Navy read it beautifully. Kenneth McShane and Sessi combined to bring him down.
So safety number 16, Giuseppe Sessi, he follows that motion by Bermudez, and that's his man. It's man-to-man. He stays on the inside shoulder, so he doesn't overrun the play. Great job by the man with the club on his hand. He has a broken left thumb playing through it, Giuseppe Sessi.
Can't be easy as a safety. Wearing that kind of hardware. 3rd down and long. Ducker, the running back. Simon. Backside pressure. The ball is loose. And Navy jumps on top of it. The Mids get the turnover they wanted. Adam Klink hopped on top of the pigskin. He forced the fumble. And the recovery by Joe Grant.
backside quarterback. You got to have protection. Didn't have it. Great job by Clink, and the recovery by Navy.
To do this year against Temple, that's force a turnover. It's the first turnover by the Temple offense this season in nearly 5.5 games. 3-point lead for the Owls. Mids get it back.
And Roy, PJ Volker told us this week it was a focus of theirs, that it's a pillar of the Navy program, ball disruption. He actually showed several clips this year of Temple putting the ball on the ground, but opponents not jumping on it. Even during pregame, they were doing a ton of ball punch drills. This was a focus of them. Definitely invigorated this sideline, I'll tell you that.
And remember, too, Taylor, the rain coming down earlier, and at times in this quarter, that ball can be slippery. On the late pitch, Heidenreich able to broach the 30. It'll be 3rd down. Ordonez the tackle against the veer.
But something needs to happen now, Roy. You do all that work on the defensive side to force a turnover. Now the offense has to create some kind of drive, get a first down, try to score before the end of the half. Otherwise, it feels like that turnover would be all for naught.
Heidenreich picks up 4. Mids without a 3rd down conversion today. Chapman in motion. Horvath snuck down for a second like he wanted to throw it, and he does, and it's incomplete. Guerin was the intended target, and the coverage right on top of him, Denzel Javis.
I've been so impressed, Roy, by the discipline of this Temple defense. The first drive they struggled, but ever since then, whether it's Garris or even Ordonez on the other play, forcing Navy to do what they don't want to do, which is look to their 2nd or 3rd read.
Tip of the cap, too, to Brian L. Smith, the defensive play caller for the Owls. He came in from Rice, where he really stymied Navy a year ago and limited the Mids to just 10 points. And an upset win. Bermudez back deep to receive. We've seen him on offense the last possession or 2. Fields it on the move. And a hard collision short of the 20. The second 3-and-out force by the Temple defense. Evan Simon back on the field. We remind you to kick off your Week 6 NFL Sunday tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, with a countdown crew on ESPN and the all-new ESPN app. All the early breaking stories, injury updates, and previews of each game right up until kickoff. Well, it's been a sad Philadelphia this past week. The Eagles, the setback, kind of rare fashion against the G-Men on Thursday night, and then the Phillies eliminated the most unconventional way imaginable.
We were walking the streets. I was walking the streets. It felt a little bit gloomy here in Philly. Sorry for all the Phillies and the Eagles fans.
There's always next year. The Eagles, of course, the defending champions. Jalen Hurts will have something to say about it before the year is through. Offense has been stuck in neutral, it feels like, and Simon sails it out. 2:36 to go. Both teams with their full complement of timeouts, and Job Grant applying the pressure that time for the veteran quarterback for the Owls. All right, so a big possession here, obviously, in a game that's probably been a little lower scoring than what we anticipated between these two. And Temple's latest 7-minute drive ended without points, thanks to the fumble on the blitzing backer, Adam Clink. Simon kept it. Simon heaves it deep. And out of bounds. And Ducker escaped the backfield. And the coverage by Joe Grant, 3rd and 10.
I still wish Evan Simon would have kept the ball. I understand he wanted to get that chunk play, but he could have ran the ball on that and still got a first down. A little bit overthrown on that play, but not only does it get the first down, but it has the clock continue to run, knowing that Navy gets it to start the second half.
That's an important point. 2:29 to go in the first half. Temple has been dominant. Time of possession, total yards. Only a 3-point advantage. Owls have run 41 plays so far to Navy's 14. On third down, Simon probing and retreating off the back foot. Colin Chase, and that's enough for a first down.
There's a reason, Roy, why Colin Chase is wearing a single digit. It means something here at Temple. I was talking to somebody with the team earlier downstairs. They said that he keeps on making plays, especially in practice, catches at critical times. So you're seeing it not just show up in practice, but also in the game. A critical third down to get that first down to keep your offense on the field.
2-minute timeout. Owls with all 3 timeouts left and a 3-point lead here in Philadelphia. Kevin Connors, we cannot wait. By the way, is Casey up the suit game lately?
He looks good.
Next level. Full vantage point there back in Philadelphia. First down for the Temple Owls, trying to win their 4th game of this season. And across the left side towards the 40 is Jay Ducker. And an 8-yard gain, the tackle by Pierce.
You want to pick up the tempo just a little bit, but not too fast. You do not want to give Navy an opportunity to make a big play on offense, but don't huddle the ball, tempo it just a little bit, get that first down, the clock will stop when you move the chains.
All 3 timeouts left for the Owls. And across the middle to the 45, that'll pick up the first. Clock will stop for a moment. Mudame the tackle. And a midshipman down near the 45. Jackson Campbell requiring some assistance. Senior from Tennessee. A player that arrived in Annapolis to play on offense. Good to see Campbell on his feet. You know, talking to PJ Volker this week, he mentioned how feisty Campbell has been this season. If he's unable to go, that certainly is a bit of a setback, and it's a problem right now when Temple has been so dominant on offense, even with just a 3-point lead.
Only 14 plays for Navy, 3 times as much time of possession. This is what you would expect if you were Navy, because you love controlling time of possession. But Temple's done a good job of keeping the pressure on Navy and making quick adjustments on defense after that early Navy drive.
It was interesting, too, to hear how the Temple coaching staff during the open date before UTSA, they told us they spent a good bit of time preparing for this game. You pick up the win over the Roadrunners, and then it's a massive deal to have that extra prep time against the Mids. Peter Clark continues his massive game and a pickup of 20.
Anytime you want to find someone in the middle of the field, look for Peter Clark. He's not hard to find. 6'6", 270. He's a big target and not afraid to take a hit. Safeties don't want to go and try to hit him.
Sam, I know you're anti-tight end, but he came back to the football beautifully there. That has to annoy a linebacker like yourself.
I'm pro-London. Very British accent. So I like it. Back on the ball.
Under a minute to go. Temple still with all 3 timeouts, and Simon out of bounds. Colin Chase in the area. That ball about 15 feet over his helmet.
So this is an interesting situation. You have all 3 timeouts, so the entire playbook is open, but time is still a factor. You don't want to scramble around too much and leave yourself too little time to get a first down. You're just outside the red zone. So I understand you could still run here, but you need to get positive yards if you're Temple in order to keep yourself in scoring range.
Every drive by Temple has at least reached the 35-yard line today. This one now to the 30. Jay Ducker, who's been a bit of a workhorse in this first.
play highlight with Evans film until he.
Duration of preseason camp into the first game. Seam route. Chase has it. Chase! Brought down inside the one. He was complement of plays at your disposal if you're Casey.
Now, if I'm Navy being effective.
Ducker, the running back. And there it is. Into the end zone. And Temple extends its lead.
Keep it simple.
And then we got to come out right now in this first drive and get something going.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
And Taylor, let's see what adjustments Drew Cronick and Blake Horvath will make. First play from scrimmage, and the midline option executed to perfection by Blake the Snake, weaving his way along that far side for 15.
And before you can really start going to the next level of plays, you have to establish one thing. So maybe it's that midline option you establish, then you have a play come off of that, or maybe it's the triple option look. You're successful 1, 2, or 3 times. Then you can go to the next iteration of that play. That's why Navy hasn't got as creative as you would expect so far.
Coming off a record-setting performance with Heidenreich and Horvath. It was of the comeback variety against Air Force. Horvath again tests the middle part of that line. The 46. Poteet brought him down to the turf. A good gain on first down.
Positive. This is a positive gain for Navy. They were going backwards earlier in the second quarter, whether it's penalties or Temple just doing better job of getting penetration. But all you need are a few positive plays. 2nd and 6 leads to 3rd and 3, leads to a first down, leads to time of possession. So Navy's back to playing their game.
After a gain of 4, boy, the top of the American Conference this year is outstanding. You watch what South Florida has done, Memphis, even North Texas. Last night's home loss to the Bulls. Alex Teska, gain of 2. And Navy wants to be a part of that conversation. So does Temple. Both of these teams without a loss so far in the league.
Both coming off of impressive wins last week. Navy put up a ton of points last week, but they also gave up a ton of points. So, yes, we're talking about this offensive series, how important it is. But when they score, if they get a first down, their defense still has to get in that conversation of controlling time of possession as well.
Midshipmen without a 3rd down conversion today. This is their shortest attempt at 3rd and 4. Horvath again, tripped up, and a gain of just 1. Eric Stewart, an outstanding stop. Blake Horvath.
Great play by Stewart, number 22 in the middle. 6'2", 215 from East Palo Alto, California, forcing a 4th down. And yes, Navy needs to stay on the field to get this.
Without hesitation, Ryan Newberry, go for it on 4th and 3. Shabbat in motion, they'll fake it to Teska. Horvath to the air, has a man, pass is caught, first down midshipman. Eli Heidenreich. One of his first big plays of this game, and the midshipman in business after a gain of 35.
Number 29, Avery Powell's the safety. He thinks it's going to be a run, so he steps up and he steps inside, and Eli Heidenreich gains the outside leverage. Great job from Heidenreich stemming inside, but Avery Powell thought it was going to be a run. That one step inside led to hesitation.
Just the 5th Navy first down of the game. Chapman to the perimeter. Stopped short of the 10 by Avery Powell. And it feels like a different confidence for this Navy offense to start the second half.
They were hurting themselves every time after that first series. First series, they marched all the way down the field. Second series, we saw penalties. We saw negative plays. If they eliminate those, then this Navy offense can be efficient. So now we're seeing the efficiency on full display.
Number 22 for the midshipman, Eli Heidenreich. 3 touchdowns through the air last week. 4 on the season, 3 more on the ground. They fake it to him. Horvath skips across the 10. It'll be 3rd down and short. Merrick Morris brought him down after a 4-yard pickup.
This is exactly what we expected when the game started. Navy being in 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2s. First half, they didn't have it often. This half, they're back in their situations that they're comfortable in.
Horvath has run the triple option basically his entire football life, going back to Darby High School, Hilliard, Ohio. Different version of it in Annapolis. Hybrid wing T. He'll keep it again. Horvath on full display. It'll be 1st down and goal.
The phenomenal job by Eli Heidenreich, number 22, with the block on the edge. 6 foot, just around 200 pounds. But look at him blocking. Then Teska as well gets a block. Both guys, who aren't the biggest guys, are doing their jobs, getting Heidenreich a 1st down.
Teska with 4 touchdowns this season. Horvath across the goal line, and he's in. The Navy offense finds its rhythm to start our 3rd quarter, and the midshipmen are right back in it.
Same 2 names, Eli Heidenreich and Alex Teska. 2 critical blocks. They go back to the exact same play and trust their running back and their snipe to make blocks on the edges. In this offense, it's not just about catching the ball, it's about blocking as well that leads to points.
And Sam, a 9-play drive with 8 of those snaps coming on the ground. Horvath gets it done. The lead down to 3 in Philly.
The College Football Playoff begins December 19th and concludes with the National Championship January 19th on ESPN.
Back here in Philadelphia, a 9-play, 74-yard scoring drive with Blake Horvath reaching the end zone. And the midshipmen right back in this game. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. And midshipmen beginning each half. The touchdown drive for Brian Newberry. 17-14 game. This Navy program, Sam, has won 8 games in a row going back to last season, including a win over Army and the victory over Oklahoma in the bowl game. Tyler Stewart for Temple. Owls get it back, and Stewart's tripped up crossing the 26. Evan Simon back on the field, and he was directing traffic in Temple's last scoring effort of the first half.
I love seeing him be a dual threat quarterback. You wouldn't think of him in that way, but he uses his legs to extend the play, finds Colin Chase for a critical third down. Then he uses his legs again, finds Peter Clark in the middle of the field. Evan Simon is a great conductor, accepts the contact, finds Chase again, gets to the 1-yard line, and finally they get into the end zone for a touchdown.
12 touchdown passes without an interception this season for Evan Simon, the transfer from Rutgers. Mountjoy, Pennsylvania, now in his 5th season. He's in that quarterback competition with Giovanni McCoy all the way up until almost through the first game against UMass. Film study, dedication to his craft has paid off. Jay Ducker picks up a first down, a 12-yard rush. Jackson Campbell back on the field. He's healthy, and he stops him there.
I am interested to see how does Temple respond. Last week, they played a horrible first half and a great second half. Oklahoma didn't really play great at all. Georgia Tech, bad first half, great in the second half. I want to see if Temple's mature enough to play a complete game.
Maturity for a program that is trying to find its winning ways. When you think back to Matt Rule and Jeff Collins, Simon kept it. Taylor, the latest on Jackson Campbell. What are we hearing there from Coach Newberry?
I did ask Coach Newberry at the half his availability. He said he is cleared to play. Unsure how many snaps he'll be available for, but he is clear to go. I also spoke with Coach Keeler at the half, and he pointed to that last drive before halftime as to what makes Evan Simon so special. He said this guy, good or bad, is on to the next play. It's exactly what he's going to have to do in this second half. He also wants to see more of a ground attack like they just did on that down.
An alpha personality has complete command and respect of that locker room. Ducker plows his way into Navy territory. It's a big deal at Temple to have a single-digit jersey, and the single digits meant, and they told Casey Keeler, we need to hear more from Evan Simon, who also, by the way, wears the single-digit number 6.
Yeah, they want to hear more from Evan. They want to hear what Simon says. They want Evan to be a better leader. Yes, he's a leader, but there's a level of confidence now that you're the starting quarterback. They want him leading the huddle. They want him speaking up at practice and even in games, and all of a sudden you're getting texts from other single digits saying, hey, Coach, I know you like to talk. I want to hear Evan talk even more.
Four-man front for the midshipmen. Here comes the pressure off the back foot. Floated perfectly inside the 30 to Smith. How about the touch on that pass with the pocket collapsing quickly?
Hunter Smith has been a game changer with his speed and his elusiveness. He's in the backfield, runs what we call a rail route, which is not a wheel route, but just essentially running back run right down the middle. He gets past Sessi, the safety, and Evan Simon just floats it over for the big-time first down.
It's been Ducker, it's been Smith. We saw Kevion Mason on a jet sweep in that first half. Jason motion and Temple. There's Smith corralled right at the line of scrimmage. Mark Anthony Parker called his name several times today for the midshipmen. Just a sophomore from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Riverbend High School with a tackle.
When we talk about the offense of Temple under Tyler Walker, this is what they want it to look like. They don't want necessarily chunk plays over and over again. Sure, it'd be nice, but their goal is to also keep Navy off of the field as well. So the running game complements the passing game and keeps them on the field. Positive for their defense too.
7 in the box for the midshipmen. Here they come. Pressure. Simon. Other way. Bermudez. Caught for the touchdown. Tyler Walker loves it. The veteran presence of Evan Simon in the pocket for the Owls pays dividends again.
You may not want the chunk plays all the time, but you'll take them when you get them. Mark Anthony Parker has the blitz, it's pressure, so it's one-on-one. All you have to do is get the ball up in the air, and your speedster, who's 5'9", 170, yes, he's your jet sweep side-to-side guy, but he's got speed to get behind you, gets the rock for the critical touchdown.
Right over Seth English, the 4th touchdown grab of the season for the redshirt junior, JoJo Bermudez. And from 26 yards out, Evan Simon now with 7 completions of 20 yards or more so far.
The transfer from Delaware makes a big-time catch in the return game, in the receiving game, in the end zone. Evan Simon with the touchdown.
Rushing yards in their win against Baylor, less than 70 in their 2 losses to SEC opponents the past few weeks. Now for Georgia, how healthy is their offensive line and their ability to protect Gunnar Stockton? Both Freeling and Green, staples on that offensive front, are still listed as questionable just a couple hours before kickoff. But guys, a night game in Jordan-Hare, I've been a part of quite a few of them, and things can get weird. So you may think you know how this one's going to go, but the Deep South's oldest rivalry always delivers.
It does, and you even heard Nick Saban on game day today recount some of his moments at Jordan-Hare at night where just 4th and goal from the 31. Weird things just tend to happen. The kick 6, I guess that was in Tuscaloosa, or no, that was at Jordan-Hare, excuse me. There's so many big plays, but that environment, that rivalry, it's going to be off the charts tonight.
I can't wait to watch.
They're also retiring Cam Newton's jersey, so things are going to be hype.
Auburn by 100. That's what I'm hearing. First down for the midshipmen. They'll get it back. Their own 25 straight ahead. The dive to Teska, who was cleared to go 4 quarters earlier tonight after being limited to just 12 snaps last week. A 6-yard gain on first down. And again, first down production critical for the midshipmen, trailing by 10 once again.
Lost his shoe. Teska's got to get that shoe back on. But to your point, first down production has been effective. Navy still has no need to panic. Offense, do your thing. The defense is going to have to make a stop in this game.
That was the other one I was searching for. The prayer at Jordan-Hare, right? That was the one that nobody could believe. Chapman picks up the first down. Another good drive starter. And a gain of 10.
Cameron Stewart, number 25, with the pressure. But Brandon Chapman is going to be on the edge and make a quick stop and get that first down. I love the tempo that you're seeing from Navy. They're not panicking. They're running the football. They're showing you different looks. Expect explosive plays as they continue to get these first downs.
It's the one component Brian Newberry mentioned to us about Horvath this week. Never flinches, never panics, Sam, to your point. And on first down, he tumbles to the 45. Cameron Stewart tripped him up. Gain of 4 more.
Well, Roy, like you mentioned, Alex Teska was a bit questionable this past week. He only played 12 snaps in their game last week. I was watching him down here on the sidelines, guys. You'll notice he is playing with a massive brace on that right leg. That thing goes up under his thigh pad. The trainers were adjusting it over here, but he's not just out there doing minimal work. He's throwing blocks. His physicality has not wavered at all.
A Pennsylvania native from across the state in Pittsburgh. Horvath, brilliant play action. Heidenreich, high school teammate of Teska, still on his feet. Rumbles ahead inside the 25. And a first down for Navy. Gain of 33.
We saw the speed, but you're going to see 2 pullers, and those pullers distract the defense. Those pullers make the linebackers think the ball's going one way, and that's how you set up plays. You can't set those up without success earlier in the game.
3 catches for 73 yards for Eli Heidenreich. He'll get it again into the red zone. Remember, a week ago, he caught 8 passes for 243 and 3 touchdowns. Receiving mark, a Navy single-game record. That time on the ground for 6.
He's been everywhere, really all season, really the last 2 years. Eli Heidenreich has been a game changer, but you need your best players in games like these, in situations like these. Down by 2 scores, you have to continue to be the guy that makes the play to get your team back in the game.
Chapman motions out. Horvath wants to throw it. Tries to loop it to Heidenreich crossing the goal line. And literally 3 Temple defenders draped around him. Dante Pollard was right there in his grill.
This is how you know that the defense is on their P's and on their Q's. You got 3 guys. You see Eric Stewart is one of them. You see Ty Davis coming out is another one. Dante Pollard is a third. They know the tendencies. It's not just about Heidenreich. It's about the time and the place on the field to protect it.
Teska behind Horvath will change the play. Navy in 4-down territory this deep in the Temple red zone. Horvath keeps it, picks up the first down. And spun down out of bounds on the load option play. It'll be 1st and goal.
So the defense knew what play was going to come. But the issue is Blake Horvath is just too fast. Safety number 29, Eric Avery Powell. He's a quarterback player, but he doesn't get there quick enough. He's actually pointing to the play when that motion happens. So yes, you might know what's coming, but the athleticism of Blake Horvath is the differentiator in this offense.
And we've seen that exclusively here to begin this 3rd quarter. First touchdown drive looking for another. Teska on the pitch. Sit down after a short game by Avery Powell. Physical tackle for 29 and Jarian White. Gain of 4.
Powell's one of the leaders of this defense. And as a safety in this defense, you have to be the alley player. What do you mean? It means run down that alley, and if they run to the edge, you're the one that's got to make the play. So Powell has made it this time, but the last time he was a step short. That's the challenge for safeties facing the option.
With 2.5 to go in the 3rd. He'll toss it back. Teska with a crease and a touchdown. 5th of the season for Alex Teska.
Linebacker Caden Superknight had an opportunity to make the tackle, but he misses it. Great blocking on the edge by Eli Heidenreich. And this offense is finally getting back into a groove.
And we mentioned it moments ago. Eli Heidenreich, Alex Teska, high school teammates at Mount Lebanon over in Pittsburgh. They have grown up together, even beginning their football playing careers, playing against each other. Now on the same team, 1 blocks, 1 scores.
Eli Heidenreich, Alex Teska making it happen for one another, just like they did back in high school.
Philadelphia, what a game we have. Rough and rugged American Conference. Sam Ochoa, faux pas Taylor Davis. The lead is 3 for the home team, the Temple Owls. Hunter Smith, the touchback. As we take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by AT&T, and some close games around the country in the SEC. What Washington State did in Oxford is stunning. And how about Oregon and Indiana all knotted up late?
That's been surprising. Indiana, they had a big-time blowout versus Illinois early in the season, but I did not expect it to be tied right now. Oregon, with the win on Penn State a few weeks ago, impressive game.
Curt Cignetti, ever hear of him?
Google him.
Easy to do. He's put up incredible numbers as the Hoosiers head coach. Jay Ducker straight ahead. Temple so far today, it's a gain of 2. Is yet to commit a penalty. And we mentioned that 1 turnover is the first of the season for the Owls offense. Tyler Walker, great job he's done coming in for Montana State. Led the top offense in the FCS a year ago. Casey Keeler turned the keys over to him. 2nd down, Simon. Airs one out, going deep, dragged down, and that's pass interference. 3 flags fly. O'Neill was the guilty party on Holloway.
Smart play. This is going to sound crazy. I'm not crazy, but that's a smart play by number 3.
Defense, number 3. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Smart play by number 3, Ira O'Neill. He was beat on that play. That would have been a touchdown. So he says, okay, I know I'm beat. I'm just going to take the 15-yard penalty because I know that, number one, Kalijah Halloween has inside leverage. He's way by me, so just grab him so he doesn't catch it and score. So 15 yards is better than 75 and a touchdown.
It's just the second penalty for either side in this game. In fact, Navy has committed both of those infractions. The 15-yard gain, pass interference, moves the football to the 42. Certainly you can feel momentum teetering between both sides. Casey Keeler will talk things over. Don't forget, coming up next week, 2 Monday Night Football games for you. Josh Allen and the Bills will take on Sean Robinson and the Falcons. That's up first at 7 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. Bears and Commanders coverage starts at 8 o'clock Eastern on ABC. And of course, they are both available on the all-new ESPN app. So you can watch either one or both starting at 8 o'clock.
Last year, Roy, that Bears-Commanders game was somewhat of a coming-out party for Jayden Daniels with the Hail Mary at the end, and he hasn't looked back. I'm excited to see will Caleb Williams continue to have success in this Ben Johnson offense.
Yeah, that's been a fun transition as he continues to improve and mature in the NFL. Ryan Newberry, now Evan Simon on the field. Interesting timeout called by Casey Keeler. Offense that has been extremely balanced before this drive. 28 runs called, 28 passes. And so far they've done their very best to play keep away from this hybrid wing T, triple option Navy offense. 3-yard gain on first down.
They've done it, Roy, by being exactly who they are. They haven't changed their identity. They are a run-the-football team and set everything up off of that. Now they're having success running the football. Didn't have a lot of success versus Oklahoma running the football. Didn't have a ton of success versus Georgia Tech. But even versus UTSA second half, they started having that success that keeps the offense on the field and keeps their defense resting and Navy's offense off of the field.
Second down, there goes Ducker. First down and a little bit more. Flag comes in back in Temple territory at the 47.
Holding, offense, number 11. 10-yard penalty, second down.
First penalty of the game called against Temple.
The reason that penalty happened is that play was supposed to go inside a little bit more, and Halloween, he saw the defender try to cut inside, so he's trying to stay on the defender. But unfortunately, as the defender tries to go out, he doesn't let go. So the defender blitzing caused Halloween to try to stay inside a little bit, but unfortunately, the defender was able to escape.
Under a minute to go in the third. Tyler Walker didn't like it. Second down, Simon will take what the defense gives him. To the 41. Holloway the grab. Duhart the stop. 6-yard pickup.
If I'm Temple, I'm letting this clock tick to the fourth quarter. I'm putting my fours up, and I'm telling my team, hey, you have to finish. If I'm Navy, this is the time where you have to figure out how to take the ball away. You got a chance to do it earlier in the game. You need to do it one more time.
Final play. An extremely entertaining third quarter comes to a close, and the lead is 3 for Temple. 15 minutes ago here in Philadelphia. Evan Simon, part of the big story, leading the charge. And what a performance we've seen from him so far today. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. Third down and 11 for Temple at the 41, and there's movement at the line of scrimmage.
Offside. Defense, number 35. 5-yard penalty, third down.
That's a costly penalty. third against Navy. Luke Pierce.
See the hard count by Evan Simon, and Pierce is going to jump just a bit. And the right tackle, Diego Barajas, is going to be the adjacent player. So he's the one that can move because he's influenced. If there was a different lineman that moved, it wouldn't be a penalty on the defense. It'd be a false start. So great job by Barajas on responding to the offside penalty by Pierce.
So instead of 3rd and 11, a much more manageable 3rd down and 6. There goes Bermudez. It's been one to watch so far. Simon looking his direction, and it comes in low. A dangerous pass. Double coverage along the far side, and Bermudez unable to haul it in cleanly. 4th down and 6, and the Temple punt team trots on the field. Dante Atten.
Dangerous pass. That's the only place you could have put that ball. Well, technically maybe a yard higher, but you see the inside linebacker, Luke Pierce, trying to go and undercut the route. So the ball could have been a yard up, a little bit higher, but if it would have been a yard inside, that's an interception.
First punt of the game for Atten. Chapman the fair catch of the 10. So Navy gets the stop that it needed and gets the football back trailing by just 3.
So far this half, Roy, Navy's had a 9-play, 74-yard touchdown drive. Then another 9-play, 75-yard touchdown drive. Both drives in just under 5 minutes. Navy has not been able to be stopped so far.
Teska not on the field to start this possession. Jackson Gutierrez is. And the snap comes to Horvath. He thought about throwing it for a moment. Up and out of bounds, crossing the 15. Eric Stewart shoved him out. And a quality pickup on 1st down. So that really has been the difference in the second half. On 1st down, Navy in our first 30 minutes really couldn't get out of its own way, thanks in part to what Temple was doing. Second half, it's been Blake Horvath, and he's found lanes to pick up positive yardage.
He's going forward and not backward. That play could have been a negative play. It was a busted play, snap, and no one else knew what to do, but Blake Horvath got positive yardage to get them in a good for 2nd down.
Option to Chapman, he'll tiptoe up the sideline. Speed option play. Let's see where they marked him out. It is enough for a 1st down.
This is the time, Roy, where you want to slow it all the way down if you're Navy. You're used to controlling the clock. You're used to being effective. The second half, you've been so much better than the first. So you want to continue to take time off of the clock, wear down the Temple defense, and impose your will.
First down, Teska gets the handoff. We asked Blake Horvath this week, what's the difference between this team this season and last year's 10-3 campaign? And he said the difference is we are getting everybody's best shot. We can't sneak up on anyone. I can't certainly do it from the quarterback position. That's been a bit of an adjustment, and so far they've made that adjustment brilliantly for head coach Brian Newberry.
It's not easy to be the hunted and not the hunter. It's not easy to be a team that you've shown what you can do on tape, and everyone wants to come and beat you. They're ready for you. So it takes maturity to be able to consistently win when you're expected to.
Chapman went in motion. Horvath will keep it, looking for a crease, and he finds it. Horvath across the 40. Another Navy 1st down, a gain of 15.
So Tyrese Whitaker on defense, number 35, is right on the line of scrimmage. He thinks the ball's going to go inside, so he turns his back. You never want to turn your back to the football. You're so focused on the blocker. Don't worry about the blocker. Find the football. That was a critical mistake by Whitaker.
Well, the second half has been an entirely different story. Coach Newberry and the midshipmen.
That clock, 7-6. Good execution.
Horvath keeps it again. Consistent theme up towards midfield. And the ground game going. The clock continues to tick. 6-yard gain.
It's demoralizing, Roy, for a defense because you were able to stop them early, and all of a sudden you're thinking, what are we not doing right? Why is everything that Navy does effective? So now all of a sudden the mental game and the physical game are working in your favor if you're Navy, and against you if if you're Temple.
Midshipman jumped out to a 7-0 lead, then Temple scored 17 unanswered, essentially to end the first half. Late toss to Heidenreich, and he will be driven down after a 1-yard gain by Dante Pollard.
So we've seen, now it's third down, third and about 5. We've seen Navy on third down not go with the run as much. They've gone with some of the passes to the flat, which is more to the side, not up the middle. I'm expecting a little bit more of that, even though you may consider this 4-down territory. But passes to the flat, over by the numbers to the side, they've been open on third down.
This Navy team woke up this morning in 4-down territory. Horvath to the air, delivers. A diving attempt out of bounds for Heidenreich, and it is incomplete.
Just a little bit too wide for Eli Heidenreich. He's going to be right there, lined up as a receiver, running a simple out route. It's going to be wide open, but that ball's a little bit too wide. Great effort by Heidenreich, but he doesn't complete the catch. The ball's moving just a little bit too much for the referees to call that a completed catch. Talked about it, 4-down territory. The offense is still on the field.
Chapman went in motion on 4th down. Horvath flush, tries to get to the edge, and does. Blake Horvath never panics, always delivers.
He might have been just a little bit panicked when he saw some of these big defensive linemen trying to chase him, but he knows he's faster than them, even the linebackers. He outran Ty Davis, number 10. So Blake Horvath is a difference maker. If the play is broken, he's going to fix it.
An 8-yard gain on 4th and 4. Drew Cronick said these players and this team, they believe in Blake Horvath. Acevedo
Ball start.
moved.
Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Starting right tackle for the midshipmen.
They've been undisciplined this year, at least when it comes to penalties. Navy's a team that usually is penalized, but there's a game earlier this year where they had 10 penalties. Last week, I believe it was 9 penalties. Today, only 3 or so, maybe 4. But this is not the time you want to go backwards if you're Navy.
This Navy possession began at the 10-yard line. Now spanning more than 5 minutes after the 4th down conversion. Horvath again, slung down hard, crossing the 45. Cameron Stewart.
It's me, Roy. I'm keeping the ball in Blake Horvath's hands. I don't need him to pass it. I don't need him to hand it off. He's your best player. In a 2nd and 11, you want to get to 3rd and 4 or so. Keep it with your best guy.
Teska in the backfield out of that wing T look. Horvath telling Heidenreich to go long. He does, and it's incomplete. There was some contact and some hand fighting with Jalen Castleberry, and it's 3rd down and 11.
Great play by Castleberry, number 19. Notice he gets his head around. See that head around? And then that left hand gets out and tips that ball. The fact that he got his head around keeps him from getting a penalty.
Third and long. The pump fake. Horvath crossing the 35 and enough to move the chains. First down, Navy.
They talk about it being 11-man football. Well, who better than number 11? It's your quarterback. You think he's going to pass it, but no. He pump fakes, everybody jumps, and he gets downhill. The fastest way to get somewhere is a straight line. He takes a straight line to the first down.
12th play of the drive. the midshipman. Horvath now approaching 100 yards rushing. Undefeated Navy on the road. It's Horvath again, and with that carry, he moves over the century mark. 5 more yards on the ground.
It's even more demoralizing after a third down like that. The crowd is into it, everybody's cheering. You think you have a sack instead of first down, and now they're just doing what they do. 5 yards, 4 yards, 6 yards. The clock is just ticking. They might not snap it until it's 10 seconds or so, and you're just sitting there as a defense saying, what can we do to stop this offense?
Brian Smith has done a remarkable job so far dialing up this Temple defense. Late pitch to Charles Robinson. And hit hard near the 25 by Avery Powell. Well, Powell in coverage has been outstanding. He's also been physical.
He's a really, really good tackler. That's what shows up on tape. You're going to see him on the other side of the field, but when that motion moves, he's going to move as well. He's the alley player. He runs down that alley, and he's the guy that has to make the play. And notice who's going backwards. It's not him. It's the offense.
After a gain of 2, it's 3rd and 3. Gutierrez now in the backfield flanking Blake Horvath. Along with Chapman. They thought about the option pass, and instead Gutierrez upended by Ordonez. And the TFL comes at a massive point in this football game.
Curly Ordonez, the linebacker, will not be fooled. He gets up to the line of scrimmage, he sees what's happening, and his job is to attack. Great job going for the legs and making the tackle.
So on 4th down, Ryan Newberry sends out the field goal unit. Nathan Kirkwood, his longest of the season, is a 39-yarder a week ago against Air Force. This attempt from 48. The Owls call the timeout. We'll step aside in Philadelphia. Four, 5 this season from the right hash. Kirkwood on the way. Kirkwood ties it up at 24. He snuck it in that lower right corner. And that's one way to do it, Sam.
Clutch. Nate Kirkwood with the clutch kick, tying the game just inside the upright.
ESPN College Football is presented by Claude, the AI for problem solvers.
Back in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, we are tied for the first time since it was knotted up at 7 apiece. Way back in the first half, and moments ago, Nathan Kirkwood found a way to sneak that football just through the uprights at the last moment.
I was surprised. I was looking at the referee saying, okay, is this going to be a good? Is it going to be wide? He snuck it right in.
Career-long 48-yarder as we get you back to the studio, and here's Kevin Connors. An amazing finish in the Red River rivalry game. John Mateer comes back. Arch Manning gets the first big win in his young career as a starting quarterback. Temple gets the football here. Jay Ducker straight ahead to the 30-yard line. What's your reaction in seeing the Longhorns handle their business in the Metroplex?
My question is, how did John Mateer play with a broken hand? I know there were 2 early interceptions. Yes, it's an impressive win for Texas, but my question is, okay, if John Mateer were healthy, would it have been different? So that's my response.
Mateer just 17 days removed from hand surgery, right there on the thumb. Mason along the right edge. Mason into Navy territory, and the true freshman running back from the Sunshine State at Sebring High School rumbles for 23.
The coaching staff has been extremely excited, but also nervous. They're saying he's a freshman. If I give him the ball, will he fumble? Will he make a mistake? No, he makes Seth Hamilton miss #1 on the defense and gets a big-time gain.
Tyler Walker, the offensive play caller, told us he can fly. And that's been a nice change of pace with Jay Ducker, the battering ram, in that backfield today. And the Owls now with 10 gains of 20 yards or more. And as the offense cranks up, right side, and Jay Ducker, Mr. Consistency, an 8-yard gain.
It's a great job up front by center Grayson Maines making a critical block. This offensive line from Temple has been extremely effective, whether it's been in the run game or pass protection. They're the ones that are allowing Temple to stay on the field.
Now this game, it's been back and forth. The 17 unanswered by the Owls in the first half, erasing a 7-0 Navy advantage. Midshipmen have rallied in the third and fourth quarters. They're trailing by as many as 10. 2 separate occasions, led by their quarterback Blake Horvath. Ducker stopped a yard shy by Luke Pierce. 3rd down.
So I got a question for you, Roy. It's 3rd and 1, and we all know what Temple wants to do. They want to run an inside zone. But in a situation like this, do you change it up? Do you throw it over the top? Do you show inside zone and throw it to the flat? If it's me and I'm K.C. Keeler and Tyler Walker, I'm running inside zone. I'm not trying to be Andy Reid and be cute. I know we're in Philadelphia. But this could be a great opportunity to show something you haven't.
I like it when you ask me a question from time to time, and the answer is inside zone. 3rd down, let's see. Simon will keep it. Dance in the backfield, he'll pick up the first. Needed 1, he gained 2. Landon Robinson brought him down quickly.
One thing that I'm noticing, Roy, is Temple is taking their time. Every single one of these plays, the ball is snapped within 5 seconds. And that matters because there's only 3 minutes left in the game. So notice the tempo, notice how much time they're taking. They don't want to leave any for Navy.
Tied at 24 thanks to Nathan Kirkwood's career-long 48-yard field goal moments ago. Is it Ducker time again? Still on his feet to the 30. Well, Jay Ducker starting to get better as this game goes deeper, now at 21 carries for close to 90 yards.
And what Navy needs to do is Navy needs to force a negative play. You think you want to start calling timeouts now, but you can't call timeouts if the offense keeps on getting 1st down. So Navy may need to bring a blitz and bring pressure. I know it's more risky, but you have to force Temple to go backwards in order to get the ball back in case they score.
Owls with over 160 yards on the ground and counting. Navy approaching 200. For the 7-yard gain. Hunter Smith back on the field. And bottled up. He's going to lose a half yard at the 30. That should get us down, barring a timeout, to the 2-minute timeout. And K.C. Keeler perfectly content to allow just that to happen. You think about the American Conference so far this year. Power at the top. There's Memphis, there's South Florida, Navy, and Temple. Want to be a part of that conversation. Who will take the next step forward? We're about to find out as we step aside.
we asked and they answered. Inside zone, Jay Ducker with the first down. Now it becomes a game of timeouts. Temple wants to run the ball. Navy's got 3 timeouts. The question is, when will they start to use them?
Well, already in field goal range of Carl Harden. He's now 7 of 9 on the season. He did have 1 miss from 38 yards on that right hash earlier in this game, but connected on a chip shot a quarter later. It's Ducker in traffic, and now the midshipman will stop the clock. Griffin Willis, the tackle. 1:22 to go. Navy down to 2 timeouts when we come back. You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. A look at the Schuylkill River Art Museum. Boxing fans are very aware of where that is located. Center City, place to be. Philadelphia, PA. And what a game in the American. Tied at 24, 2nd down and long coming up for the Temple Owls. Knocking on the front door of the red zone. Simon wants to throw it. Heaves one deep, wants it all. Passes! Caught at the 1 with a penalty flag down. Holloway reeled it in, backtracking towards that front
Pass
pylon.
interference. Defense, number 3. Penalties declined. Result of the play is a first down.
That changes everything. 1st and goal from the 1.
This Temple offense has been attacking Iro Nihas, getting his first start. Kajaya Holloway is getting face masked, yet he still gets the reception. First down, 1 yard line.
Sam, my question to you, would you let Temple score in this situation?
I wouldn't. I would try. Now, granted, Temple's been dominating the line of scrimmage, so you may not have to try that hard. But if I'm Navy, I'm still trying to keep them out of the end zone.
1:19 to go. The midshipmen with 2 timeouts. And let's see. Simon with Ducker in the backfield. And Ducker plows his way across the goal line. The Owls back in front. What a night for Jay Ducker. Nearly 100 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. What he hopes to be the game winner. Close it down for Temple, but Sam, minute 16 remaining. Navy with 2 timeouts and an offense likes to let it fly as you see Ducker cross the goal line.
Inside zone, just like we all expected. Effective play. But to your point, Roy, there's a minute 16. Navy's got 2 timeouts. They have a dynamic quarterback and an offense that's difficult to try to solve. So positive for Temple, but that's a lot of time and a lot of offense that's still available to be had.
All smiles for Jay Ducker. Stops at Memphis. Sam Houston, Northern Illinois, the Omaha, Nebraska native. Now for Brian Newberry. Still time, but a long ways to go. Try to tie this game up. Both teams undefeated in American Conference play so far. Navy at 3-0 in the league. Temple had a surprising 1-0 as well after the comeback a week ago against UTSA. Isaiah Bryant over his head, 4 yards deep. Midshipman will get it at the 25. You take a look at the chances to win the American coming into today. Temple at just a 0.1% chance. That would shift in a dramatic way with a win here against Navy, and the Midshipmen still at a 5-0 record, 3-0 in the league, listed at just 2% with Memphis and South Florida the favorites.
Temple, if they win this game, they have a favorable schedule. Next week at Charlotte, then at Tulsa, East Carolina at home. So the opportunities are ample for Temple, but they have to be able to finish.
Crowd on its feet at the link. Little stop and go, and Horvath was tackled in the backfield. Temple takes it the other way. And the pressure came in from Charles Calhoun, and now let's see what the ruling is. Incomplete. It was a stop and go. Heidenreich.
Incomplete pass. Please put 108 on the clock, please. 108.
Sammy had a chance to break free, but the pocket collapsed before Horvath could deliver.
So the running back tries to block Charles Calhoun, and he can't. He avoids the block, number 45, and he gets that pressure. That's a clear forward pass, but great job by Calhoun avoiding the block. The one thing you do want to see him do is try to rake at that football. Getting that football would end the game.
Horvath sends one deep. Heidenreich. Contact, and there come the flags. Avery Powell initiating the contact, and that'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Avery Powell's got to get his head turned back around. He did it earlier in the game, but now that ball just hung up there just way too long. As a defender, you don't think the ball's going to hang up that long. Either way, you have to turn your head around if you're a safety in that position. Great job by Horvath just getting the ball out despite the pressure. Clear and obvious pass interference by number 29, Avery Powell.
They said 24, Osweke, but it was Powell that had him guarded. 1:05 to go. First down, Horvath sends another pass deep. More contact. And looking for Nathan Kent, the speedster. World-class, Olympic-style speed. Great coverage by Castleberry. This time, no penalty.
Here's the challenging part. First of all, great job by Jalen Castleberry trying to stay in coverage. But the challenging part is Navy's not used to pass protecting in obvious pass situations. That's why you're seeing Blake Horvath have to scramble so much. He's having to avoid so much pressure because the offensive line is used to run, and a play-action pass. This is obvious passing situations, so advantage goes to defensive line in this.
Unbeaten Navy on the rope, 2nd down and 10. And looking for Eli Heidenreich. The pressure came from Charles Calhoun. He continues to impact plays on this possession.
3 straight plays, 3 straight pressures by Temple. The left tackle's been getting beat for Navy. This is going to have to be a situation where Blake Horvath does it himself. You may not be able to be protected, so if somebody comes to and through you, you have to be able to avoid the pressure and make a play.
On 3rd down, Horvath will take what he can get with Teska and stop just shy of midfield, and here comes a timeout. It's a 9-yard gain. Don't forget, coming up, the bottom of the hour, Jordan-Hare Stadium down on the plains. Number 10, Georgia comes to town in this SEC Flash over on ABC. And that is the environment awaiting Gunnar Stockton and the Georgia Bulldogs as Hugh Freeze and Jackson Arnold to secure their first win together this season. Meanwhile, here in Philadelphia, it all comes down to this. Midshipmen are 2 for 2 on 4th down so far. They need 1 yard to keep this game alive now.
And they can run the ball because a first down stops the clock. And I would run the ball if I'm Navy. I would run the ball with Blake Horvath. I would do a quarterback keeper like you saw earlier in the game in the 3rd quarter. Get the first down. If you need to clock it, you clock it, but that will stop the clock.
It's getting loud at the Link, and it's not the Eagles who are playing tonight. On 4th, who else? Horvath with a crease! There he goes! On 4th and 1, it's a house call for Horvath.
He's a walking big play.
(31-30), the midshipmen line up. Potential game-tying PAT. And the speed, the blocking, the execution, Sam.
Left guard Ben Purvis makes a critical block. He's going to pull around, make a critical block in the hole. The patience and the speed, that's a killer combination for Blake Horvath. Has the patience to set up the block and the speed to do the rest.
Similar to his 95-yard touchdown run against Oklahoma in the bowl victory to end last season. And you wonder, is Brian Newberry thinking about going for 2 here? And the lead on the road, you see Horvath's numbers. He's now over 150 yards rushing. The timeout came at an interesting point, and Horvath has the helmet on for the moment.
Roy, what do? You go for 2 here?
I'm going to tie it up with the extra point.
I'm going for 2.
Horvath back on the field, and here we go.
And you know who needs to keep the ball? I don't get cute here.
For the lead. And a tricky formation. That'll prompt a timeout from K.C. Keeler. He was all the way down to the 10-yard line. Blake Horvath does it all for the midshipmen.
It took him time to get started, but when he did, he could not be stopped. Whether it was through his tight end, Cody Howard, or whether it was escaping the pocket and finding first downs on 4th down, Blake Horvath has been excellent all game long.
Eight wins in a row for the midshipmen going back to last season. 5 straight to start 2025. 3-0 in the American, trailing by 1. Horvath remains on the field. The mids are going for the lead.
Now you have to go to your second play. You already showed what you're going to do. Temple saw it. Now you're expecting a different formation from Navy.
Both teams out of timeouts. Chapman and Teska in the backfield with Blake Horvath. Horvath keeps it rolling to his right, delivers, and it is caught. Alex Teska, the midshipman back in front.
That looked like an Andy Reid special if I've ever seen it. Someone out in the flat on a short yardage situation. You see the pressure by Ty Davis, but the perfectly placed ball by Blake Horvath.
And Sam, Navy utilizing that trick formation, forced Temple to use a timeout. It's last, and the Owls will have just 39 seconds to go. There is still time. But what a turn of events. Horvath on 4th and 1. Scores the touchdown from 51 yards out. Moments later, delivers the 2-point conversion. Senior to senior. Horvath to Teska. What a game this has turned out to be.
What guts are being shown by these players on the field. Alex Teska, we didn't know if he was going to play. He was questionable. Yet he's playing through injury with the knee brace, with his ankle taped up. Impressive performance by Teska.
Ryan Newberry said, and he reiterated to us multiple times, Blake Horvath never flinches, never panics, never presses. Nowhere was that more evident than the touchdown run and the 2-point conversion pass. Still time for the Owls. And the fair catch called for at the 5 by Hunter Smith. All right, Sam, what is the mentality here? Only needing a field goal for a comeback victory for Evan Simon and Tyler Walker, who are already talking things over for this possession.
It's a 2-minute situation, so you know you have to get to about the 30-yard line, maybe even the 35. They attempted a 61-yarder. That was just a few yards short last week. So I talked to Brian Ginn, the special teams coordinator. He said if it's a game-ending situation, they'll attempt it from 60. So you're in hurry-up offense. First down stops the clock. You have a big tight end in Peter Clark. Everywhere in the field is open.
Bermudez lines up in the slot, top of the screen. Simon the other way. There's the tight end. And Clark upended short of the line to gain. It's an 8-yard pickup, and the clock continues to tick. Sessi with an important tackle. Short of the first down. They'll get it here. Holloway quickly to the turf. And the clock stops momentarily. Move the chains. And Simon into the turf will stop it again.
There's no play on the first down. Please reset the game clock to 21 seconds. It will start on my signal.
Temple needing at least 18 to 20 yards to give the field goal unit a chance. Simon, Holloway, and stopped after a gain of 9, maybe 9.5. Clock continues to roll. 5 seconds for Simon. To the 40, Holloway. And the officials direct both teams back to their sidelines. It's not done just yet.
There's 1 second on the game clock, please. 1 second. It will start on my signal. Start on my signal.
Simon gets the snap. Wants to heave one deep. It's well short of the goal line. Incomplete, and Navy finds a way on the road in Philadelphia. The Midshipmen remain undefeated in 2025.